Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Zeus was the king of the gods, and he had many children, with both goddesses and mortals. Some of his children were famous for their wisdom, like Athena, or their strength, like Hercules. But today we will talk about one of his children who was famous for her beauty. Her name was Aphrodite, and she was the goddess of love and beauty. And even though she was immortal, she got really bored of living on top of Mount Olympus with nothing to do. So one day she decided to pay a visit to the human world. She was so beautiful that all the humans and gods fell in love with her. But when she walked past a village, some people started to gossip. Look at that woman. She's so beautiful. Who is she? And Aphrodite heard them and turned around. She wanted to reveal herself and tell them she was a goddess. But just then, a frog hopped out from behind a rock and croaked, "Ribbit, ribbit." And this made Aphrodite very angry. She was so furious that she turned the gossips into frogs and toads. Then she picked up the frog that had interrupted her and turned it into a handsome prince. And she said to him, "Since you interrupted me and didn't let me tell the villagers I was a goddess, you will be cursed to be a frog for the next 10 years. And only a kiss from a princess can break the curse." And with that, she disappeared in a puff of smoke. So the prince sat down on a nearby stone and started waiting. Every day he would hop into the nearby lake and watch the beautiful swans swimming around, dreaming of the day a princess would come along and break his curse. But year after year, no princess came. Finally, after 9 years, a young girl came to the lake to get water for her village. She was carrying a big clay pot on her head, and as she walked, she kept looking around her. The prince thought, "Finally, maybe she will be the one to break my curse." But he waited, and eventually the girl left without even noticing him. The next day he tried again, but it wasn't until the 10th year that a princess came to the lake. She didn't have a crown or anything, but she was beautiful. And when she saw the frog on the stone, she felt sorry for him. But just as she reached out to stroke him, he hopped into her pot and then onto her head. And he stayed there for a long time. And she started talking to him and told him about her life in the castle. And even though she didn't know it, she was actually breaking his curse by being kind to him. Eventually, she went to put the pot down, but the frog hopped off her head and onto her finger. And then, "Ribbit," he said. And as she looked at him, the frog's face started to change, and soon there was a handsome prince sitting on her finger instead. He explained to her what had happened and how she broke his curse. And they became good friends. Meanwhile, Aphrodite was watching them from afar, and she was very happy to see the curse was broken. And as a reward, she gave the princess a magical comb that made her even more beautiful. And she also gave the former frog, now prince, a crown that made him the most powerful and wealthy ruler in the land. And as a last gift, she made sure the two of them would fall in love and rule over the land happily ever after. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Next time you hear a frog croaking, remember it might not be just an ordinary frog. It might be a prince waiting for his happy ending.